I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you are listening to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 386.
Welcome to Thinner Peace in Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned.
Well, hello, my dear friends all over the world. How are you today? I'm having a magnificent time in my little space in the Midwest, and many things that I want to talk about with you today. I did have a sad experience today because today was the last day of my Thinner Peace in Menopause group experience. It was the 12th session and the last day. And that meant that I was saying goodbye to a lot of women that I got very, very close to and watched them transform themselves. And I wanted to share a little bit about that with you and also talk to you a little bit about a mini session that I had that you might be able to relate to. And then I want to share with you something very, very exciting that's coming up again that I know that you're going to like. And the reason I know that is because I'm going to be offering you something very inexpensive and something that's going to help you lose weight faster. Now, I know you're holding on to your seats because how exciting this is. And I'm going to save that for last, so you listen to everything else that I tell you first. So today being the very last session of my Thinner Peace in Menopause group, I had one woman who couldn't be with me today. She actually wrote me an email, and I wanted to share it with you about her experience with me because, number one, it touches my heart. And for you, I think sometimes it really helps to hear somebody else's perspective about something that you may be interested in. So I'm making the assumption that if you're listening to me and you like my philosophy, that you might be interested in being able to work with me at some level. So I want to read you a little bit about what she wrote. And then I want to tell you about another one of my clients in the group. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about a mini session. And in the end, I want to get you a little excited. So here's what she wrote. I'm not reading the whole thing, except that she said, I'm very sad that I cannot be at the meeting tomorrow. Life and grandchildren take the highest priority that I could not change our 3-day trip together. I have learned so much about myself through our amazing time together. I am so much more in touch with my body, but also my perspective of my being here in this life. I also trust my instincts and feelings so much more than before. You have been an amazing mentor and so much more supportive of my personal journey compared to other programs. I am very sure I will reach my goal weight and keep it off. I've already lost 11 pounds. But my true progress is respecting my body and listening to its clues. Really want you to take that in because when I was on this call with the rest of my clients, many of them were resonating the same thing, that they've changed their perception of themselves. One woman was crying on the call because she felt like she loved herself for the first time. She felt like she was worthy for the first time. This is so much above and beyond losing weight, but this is what she learned from eating. And how I coached her is her own self-value and her own worth in this world and appreciating all of her gifts. It just touched my heart and it touched her heart. And we were all kind of had a few tears. But at the same time, that's why I do this work. And that's why I want to talk to you about my exciting news that I'm going to be telling you in a little bit. But I want to also tell you what I wore today. I have this beautiful purple shirt that I love to wear that says Quiet Your Mind. And I love to wear it on the last days of my classes because it's the one thing that I really teach everybody is not only how to lose weight, but how to quiet your mind, or what I call it, how to manage your mind. And all the women in this class now know how to manage their mind, and boy, do they feel more in control. Now, granted, everything in their life is pretty much the same, but the way that they see their life is not the same. And that's why I also wear my butterfly earrings, because I love the butterfly and I love the stages of a butterfly, because I feel like in this 12-week process, I watch them go from caterpillars into butterflies, into the way that they see themselves as a beautiful butterfly. It's really, really touching. And as I was doing that, I also had a mini session later on with somebody else who's in the beginning stages of maybe she wants to work with me, maybe she doesn't, just looking for help and trying to figure out how to get through menopause and how to lose weight. And one of the things that she said to me is, she says, I just don't know about this journaling thing. I just can't do the journaling thing. Everything is so repetitive. And yet she wants to lose 20 pounds, but she doesn't want to do the journaling, but she wants to do the journaling. Now, here's the thing. Maybe this is how you are if you've been listening to my podcast for a while, because I talk a lot about journaling, and that the way I teach food journaling, which I call my Dr. Deb way of food journaling, is not like Weight Watchers. It's not like any journal you've ever done, because I teach you how to understand not only your physical hunger, but your emotional hunger, and differentiating it so that you can find out what you're actually feeding. Are you feeding physical hunger, or are you feeding emotional hunger? And with her, she had already decided when she talked to me that journaling is way too hard because it's way too repetitive. And what I told her, and what she didn't quite realize, is that her thinking about the food journaling being repetitive was stopping her from doing it, because what she said is, I just can't do it. Now, this is an able-bodied, smart woman who absolutely has the ability to do it. She just thinks that she can't because it's repetitive. So we started talking about that. Well, if it was so repetitive and she was eating all the same stuff and doing all the same things, either she was eating way overeating or doing something and not noting it, or she really doesn't know because she's never seen it. She's just thinking how repetitive it is and doesn't actually look at it. So we covered that. And then she said, well, I heard that you're going to be opening up a group soon, and I think that might be just the thing for me. And I said to her, and I'm saying to you, that is true. I am getting ready to reopen my group because it just ended. But in the style of how I like to open my Thinner in Menopause group is I like to start with a very inexpensive, very informative mini course. And this is the exciting news that I wanted to tell you. This mini course that I'm going to start is called Jumpstart Your Weight Loss. Jumpstart Your Thinner Piece Process. Everybody wants to jumpstart. And this woman she just loved it because she just wants to do it fast and she wants it done. And I said, I think what you would love is a jumpstart. She says, that's exactly what I need. So she's going to be real excited about signing up. And now I'm telling you about jumpstarting the Thinner Piece process. And the Thinner Piece process has to do with managing your brain, what's going on in your brain, and then managing your body, what's going on in your body, and then managing your mind-body connection. 3 different parts, 3 different days where we cover each thing. And I'm going to give you a process on how, if you never do anything else with me, you can jumpstart this weight loss and you can jumpstart my Thinner Piece process. 3 days. 1 hour a day for 3 days, you get me coaching you on what's in your way. If you're like this person I just talked to and you think it's so repetitive, what's in your way of beginning to journal? Well, guess what? I'm going to teach you how to do it step by step, and then I'm going to hold you accountable. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to open up the doors to the next Thinner Peace program. Maybe you will be in it. But first, it starts with signing up for my Jumpstart program. So if that sounds interesting, like you'd like to figure out, how could I do those journals? If I could simplify it, make it really easy for you to do, and coach other women with you on the call, you might get it, and you might want to do it, and you might want to honor your commitment. And I'm going to show you all kinds of ways on how you can do it. So if this is something that's interesting to you, you can go to drdebbutler.com/jump, JUMP, and you can sign up for this 3-day course. It's almost like a coffee a day. And maybe you can get yourself going in September, because that's when it'll be. And you'll find the dates and everything on my website when you go to drdebbutler.com/jump. And maybe if September is anything for you, like it is for a lot of us, it's time to come back and take care of ourselves and get ourselves going and make this the very, very last time that we ever have to lose weight again. That sounds good. You know where to go. And listen, I would never end this podcast without saying to you, no matter where you go and no matter what you do, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
If you're loving my podcast and you would like some more information to be able to follow along with, then please go to drdebbutler.com/change, and you can get a free copy of my companion book that goes with this podcast that I refer to in many different episodes. That is drdebbutler.com/change, CHANGE.